And this is another Reddit Dota 2 League in-house. We just saw one, most of the same players, but a couple switches out for this one. One of the teams is now named Gadiaferb. It's madness, I say. I'm Zoran, and I'm joined here with All Smiles, who joined me last game. He's a shy fellow. Doesn't say a whole lot.
Nothing much to say right now.
Well, I can say we're in the ban phase. We're seeing Nyx and Lifestealer banned out. We didn't see him last time, and we're not going to see him this time either.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, last time Nyx was actually in the pool for the first two picks. And we see a Treant Protector banned now. Living Armor, too good.
Yeah, no sides opted to pick up the Nyx, though. And Batrider also removed. Pretty normal. Treant, a little unusual on the bans, but he's rising a bit.
He's actually not that unusual because Living Armor, it helps, even though if you don't win your regular tri-lane, Living Armor helps you win your mid and your offlane, well, on the off lanes as well. So you basically win 2 lanes out of the 3. And any ganks, it can be really hard. I mean, it's basically like a refraction without the damage, but with extra heals.
Yeah, that's what's been able to see him show up more often here and there, just not showing up a whole lot yet. So he's an up-and-comer to keep an eye on. We're still waiting on the first pick actually going into reserve time for this one, and it's going to be Rubik. Just kind of solid all around. Can't go wrong with that. But that leaves 2 for Gadiaferb on the Dire side.
We should just call him the Dire. But I don't know about the Rubik pick first because the Dire, I don't just call him Gadiaferb. They haven't picked their heroes yet, and so if there aren't that, they can pick spells that aren't that useful to Rubik, just to counteract them, and then he's just left there with not too much if his ulti isn't used well.
Yeah, there is that concern leaving him out. You can kind of catch your opponent off guard if you come in late with a Rubik pick and go, oh, wait, we have so many spells. But if the other side gets preoccupied on picking heroes that don't have good spells, well, that could work out too, depending. Just to give them one extra thing to think about, or they could just ignore it and Rubik ends up the same either way. So it ends up playing out very differently if you pick him early than late, certainly. Waiting on the second pick, final pick of the first pick phase.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I mean, there's good spells that Rubik can't utilize. I mean, like Haunt, for example. He makes it doesn't work on Rubik if you steal it.
Well, not it doesn't do a whole lot, but he can actually use it. Magnus actually selected.
However, I feel like the Dire have revealed their hand, sort of, with their tri-lane already.
They've given away what their supports are. It's not clear right now if they're going defensive or aggressive, though, I would say. You could do it either way.
We see 2 mid bans that the Magnus doesn't want to go against Puck and Quap.
Yeah, they're focusing in on the mids. They already selected their Magnus, so you can expect him mid with that in mind. They can just focus on a single role to remove, which the Dire has the same option, but they're actually banning out Darkseer and Gyro, not banning supports as of yet, just heroes that they're not going to give away, and then they select up Lone Druid. So now it's starting to look a lot more like an aggressive tri-lane in order to give the Lone Druid a solo safe lane farm. Now we can wait on the Radiant to see what they end up going for to answer that. Rubik going to work very well in a defensive tri-lane, but we don't know what else is going to be involved. Weaver selected.
And
so
we see the other Weaver pick up.
Yeah, so we could see that in the 1v1 against Lone Druid, put the Weaver in the off lane, and he can match up okay against Lone Druid. And okay is good enough.
And the Kunkka pickup. Kunkka since 6.78 has been seeing a lot of play with his buff, and Ghost Ship is a super good spell. It's basically 8 seconds of 2 times your health, and you're pretty much invulnerable for that 8 seconds, as it's non-lethal damage.
Yeah, we were starting to see more Kunkka before 6.78, and then just adding even more reason to pick him now. This shows him showing up
10
all the
seconds
time.
remaining.
So a big surge now. But,
I mean, as a mid, Kunkka can dominate with Tidebringer. And then having the Torrent X Mark the Spot Ghost Ship combo with all that burst damage can easily kill off mid heroes. However, I want to make note of the Weaver pickup. The Dire have a lot of burst damage. And also they've some forms of stuns, including Torrent, Entangle, Ghost Ship, and the Electric Array. They can shut down Weaver.
So Slark looks like who we're going to see up against Kunkka in that mid. I don't think I've seen this before. It could be tough on Slark. Tidebringer already very effective, but up against another melee hero until Slark hits 6 could have some problems with the harass in the lane.
The Kunkka pickup is actually really good looking right now, as the Radiant have really squishy heroes. And even though Mag has strength, he doesn't have the best strength gain and HP pool compared to some other heroes. So we'll see what the Dire and Radiant want to ban out right now. Well, just the Radiant.
Yeah, we're waiting on another support for Radiant to run, which is why we see a Jakiro banned by Dire, TA banned on the side for the Radiant, which is a little... They continue to ban mids. They may not have... I'm not sure why. I haven't seen Kunkka run anywhere but mid anytime recently.
He actually runs really well with the aggressive Trilane, as you have a sub spell with the Lina stun, and then you have a Torrent with that, which is enough time to get a kill, especially if they have Soul Catcher on them.
Yeah, it can certainly work very well. I just haven't seen it recently, so maybe they're onto it.
I played against, I think it was yesterday, and it actually worked really well for the other team. And our Trilane just didn't execute, I guess. It's also one that you can pull off in pubs. Like, it doesn't take that much teamwork, just knowing your timings.
Yeah, we're into reserve time now on... They're still waiting to see that last pick to show their hand.
A Beastmaster pickup right now for Dire actually might be a really good pickup if they want offlane him or something, as the Roar gives a stun that goes through BKB, and he can also stack the Ancients on Dire side. And with Kunkka, they can clear him really easily. Dragon Knight's also a good pickup.
That being Dragon Knight, so it is looking like Kunkka in the aggressive tri lane. Dragon Knight, another one that we're seeing mid all the time, and I'd say Kunkka would make more sense in the tri lane with Shadow Demon and Lina, with the follow-up stuns. And you talked about Radiant not having a whole lot of tankiness. Dire's got it in spades right now.
10 seconds remaining.
I also want to make note of Dragon Knight and Lone Druid. They can push down towers really hard, as well as Kunkka helping out clear the creep waves. As with the bear and the dragon poison dragon forms, that they can tear down the towers, and then Kunkka can help clear creep waves. So it might be seeing an early 5-man out of the Dire.
Yeah, they're very much
Radiant,
a pushing
to be honest,
lineup.
don't have much kind of push. I mean, all they have is Mag, Shockwave, and Rubik to Fade Bolt. That's a spell.
Vengeful Spirit picked up once again. We saw our last game, that was on the winning Radiant side, though, I do believe.
Well, she's actually a really good pair up with Weaver, as her passive skills into the late game, and Weaver already has very good damage output.
So we're just waiting for the players to pick up their heroes, and then we'll be in the game. But
once again,
Remaining.
Kunkka's Tidebringer. That's Radiant still has a really squishy team with the bench pickup as well.
You had mentioned the push. I'm curious to see if it ends up being a 5-man push or a 4-man push with Druid split pushing. Because either could end up working. If you really want to force down the towers, though, put both the Bear and Dragon Knight in Dragon form, and that could be just a lot to deal with. But we'll start off by introducing that Dire side. First up on the Lone Druid, head down towards the off lane, actually, is Fuller. We saw him on Lone Druid a whole lot in Season 1. Head out towards mid. On Kunkka is JS Ship. Up in the defensive tri-lane, E4H6 actually headed to the defensive tri-lane as Dragon Knight. Wabu playing the Shadow Demon, and then joined up by Spam on Lina. All smiles, could you introduce the Radiant players for us?
In the offlane, we have Twisted Mumbler on the mag. Well, it looks to be an offlaner. I don't know if he's actually going mid or not. And on the support Rubik, we have Zag and Mustache this time playing support versus playing carry last game. And then Acer Veneer, the captain, on the mid Slark. And in the solo, we have Weaver, RD2L, Chinese characters, I guess. I'm a disgrace of Chinese.
Yeah,
I can't read it.
His name is Remorse. I only know that because he's told me.
Alright,
So
we'll call him Remorse, I guess.
Well, try and remember that at least.
Yeah.
So the lanes, they're certainly catching me off guard. Something we didn't actually mention was with the Slark pickup, that does push Magnus into a bit of an awkward situation. He ends up being off lane here. We haven't seen this for a long time thanks to that skewer nerf. Used to be a flat 1200 range. Now it scales up to that at 600 range at level 1.
He also got
not a whole
Shockwave
lot.
first.
Yeah.
So until he gets level 2, he can be zoned out very hard.
Whoa.
And we already see the first blood with
Yeah.
supports coming in.
The supports were waiting there. I didn't catch it. Shame on me, but that goes the way of Slark. So a big help out to him. Though he's low and only has tangles on him right now. Be nice if one of these supports could have salved him. Rubik.
Well, we also have a bench here. Well, now that the Bear's pulling the creep wave, Weaver can't really farm under the tower as he's very low HP. So it's very hard for him to actually farm well compared to some other heroes. And he's already only at 2 tangles left. So I'm surprised he didn't buy more regen though.
But the Bear getting very low, and if it goes down, if Rubik gets the last hit, that's 300 gold to him. One more hit. This is worth Slark rotating to get this Bear.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening.
Rubik's going to get the last hit. He needs one more right click. No, it turns right towards mid, but Slark can cut it off.
There it is.
One more hit.
Oh, that stout shield
Regen,
proc.
and there it is. So 300 more gold on top of
However, this is gonna be a
First
lot
Blood.
of experience for Kunkka though. That's a lot. That's a massive creep wave right there. The Radiant actually might use this to push the lane though. However.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the... I'm not sure that was the intention as Lone Druid to give that all to Kunkka, but it ends up being that way. The stun leap onto him.
Lina also
but
missed
gonna give
her,
up.
Oh, we see Slark actually being very low, but Kunkka doesn't want to chase that.
They jump into the tower, leashed him, but couldn't finish him off. Had to back up. Invis, Shadow Demon, disrupt, no follow-up.
Was that just miscommunication, as Lina wasn't there and Kunkka didn't have a mana for Torrent?
Guys, you need to.
Yeah, he had the Invis pinged and disrupted very quickly, and as you mentioned, no mana, so yeah, it looks like just miscommunication, assuming that he had the mana to move in and follow that up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Amazingly, though, right now, Slark not topping the net worth board. Weaver and Dragon Knight ahead of him.
You thought you were slick.
I'm actually not quite sure how that's even possible, but...
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Very low. Slark trying to get away from this Kunkka. He has no mana and no creeps to hit to try and Tidebringer him down. Oh, turned around for a second, now being body blocked by Venge, who has to get out of the way. Leap off a cooldown now, though. Rubik with a lift behind the action is now going to back up. Oh, but walks into the torrent, and that'll finish him off. So they get Rubik out of all of that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Weaver has managed to force down the bottom
Dire's
tower,
middle
though,
tower is under attack.
which is not something you normally see against Lone Druid. But thanks to that huge creep wave that Lone Druid lost, he's now level 3 against level 5 on the Weaver. The rotation in from Shadow Demon and Lena, though, to try and help out. Shadow Demon's still at level 1. They start to come in, but Weaver just Shikuchi's away. They ping him out, though, so they may continue to pursue. No mana on Weaver to continue Shikuchiing for a few more seconds. But they're not able to catch up, and he'll get away.
You also see a rotation on top by this Rubik, but he's being pinged out by the Dire. And Dragon might not go on him.
And there's a
Dragon
hasted
Tail Hover.
Kunkka right behind him. There's the torrent, and one more hit finishes
There's a
him.
death.
Prepare your sails for good. No money for you.
This Magnus, however, hasn't been much pressure in his lane, and is actually getting a lot of XP.
Yeah, with all the rotation from the supports, he's been able to be up here 1v1 for the most part. Hasn't gotten any farm. He's only at 4 last hits, but he has been getting his levels.
I mean, if he just participates in a few ganks, he's gonna get the gold for Blink Dagger soon. And he's not dying either.
Mustache actually has a Wraith Band, so this hasn't gotten out of that Dro mindset from the first game. Picks up a Wraith Band on Venge.
It's not a bad item. I mean, he still gets some intelligence, but I feel like an old talisman will help him a lot more.
Shadow Demon has rotated back towards mid, so we have a 3v2 situation, leaving Mag alone up top once again. And Rubik looking to try and move
Lone
in
Druid
on the
finally
Lone
has his
Druid.
bear, but the bear can't attack, and I know what's up with Polar, but he just doesn't have the CS.
Stun on Kunkka over by the rune. They'll lift up, but they're not able to burst him down. Too tanky.
We also see the supports rotating as well. But I just want to make out this Lone Druid lane. He's doing really bad. And then first hit root, though. This might change something.
Yep, Rubik in a bit of trouble. Oh, Torrent just barely catches him, and that'll be enough. The creep will finish him.
This Lone Druid, if he dies, he's without bear for another 80 seconds.
And he will. There's the last right click. Can now Rubik get away? Follow up Light Striker Ray coming late. Torrent
And,
also late.
Off time. This Weaver is just snowballing right now.
Yeah, in this bottom lane, again, we saw that huge creep wave picked up by the Lone Druid and then given to mid. So he ended up being under-leveled against the Weaver and just harassed out of lane. Ended up being level 3 up against level 5.
This Weaver is hitting for almost 90 damage and for auto attack, and that's without Germinate Storm as well. So he's doing a lot of damage if he gets close to Lone Druid hero who doesn't have bear and is not in his ultimate form yet.
Bad dudes, middle tower, everyone.
We could see Remorse trying to put a lot of pressure on him very soon.
Yeah, so far, while we have seen a lot of rotations, we haven't seen the dedication to a push on either side as of yet, other than Weaver just pushing on that bottom tower on his own.
Kunkka has Ghost Ship and he might be rotating on his Venge.
Yeah, Venge going for the
rune,
rune, gets caught.
Off. And
the follow-up Light Striker Raid, Dragon Slave. They're throwing everything, but she's being nice and resilient, but one more click is able to get her.
Kill
Kunkka actually doesn't have much farm. I mean, he has 400 gold, but he still doesn't face boots yet.
So-
8 minutes in.
Okay, so Venge right now has a ring of Aquila and no boots. So the lack of boots really hurting right there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
However, it is nighttime, and she can still get magic missiles at decent range as well.
Yeah, just Kunkka able to catch up to her with that last right click. Might have gotten away with boots for the increased movement speed, just running away. Down.
Actually, Kunkka has a 300 base movement speed, while Venge is only 295, so he might have caught up to her still. However, we see Slark going on Kunkka, but backing off with the Shadow Demon support coming in.
Weaver's also managed to push out the bottom lane. Had been doing a bit of harass on the Druid, but nothing too big there. Now trading hits with the bear. He gets an entangle.
However, nothing's really going on right now.
Yeah, we've ended up 2v2 in mid. Slark and Venge up against Kunkka's Shadow Demon. Up top, Magnus is alone. Now he's getting a little low. He ate the Breathe Fire, but no follow-up.
DK also has his ultimate, so... And Mag's out of mana, so if Mag tries something, just Dragon Tail with the ultimate form range. And we have a dead Magnus. I just want to make note that the dire supports they're just babysitting. They're not getting XP, and they're splitting all the XP up. Like right now in mid, we have 3 heroes, and we have a gank on this lone druid. Who's TP now. However, he might lose his bear again if he doesn't. All right.
See, Mag, he's gone treads, so not able to address his mana problems so far. Ends up opting for tankiness, which in some ways makes sense up here, as he's not mid, going to be taking a bit more harass up top. But now we've got 3 going through the Radiant jungle, as there's 4 Radiant. This could end up in a 4v4 fight down bottom. Kunkka leading the way. I didn't see who X was used.
Hits Slark.
Yep, boat used. Slark. Everyone on Slark went in Viz, but Dragon Slave finishes him off.
However, Weaver's doing a lot of work right now. I want to make note of the Shadow Demon's build. He hasn't got a point to Soul Catcher yet, which would be really good for the ganking and roaming.
He just hit level 4 and got a point right now.
Alright. We also see Weaver at low health and Venge on the side. If they saw this coming, they could easily... Yeah, there's the bear going after this Venge. But the...
First hit entangle.
Another first hit root gaming.
A bit of hesitancy there. That may let her get away, as a couple right clicks didn't happen. And she does survive for now.
Weaver's still doing a lot of damage. And this Lina actually might fall down to the bugs.
Lone Druid gets finished off.
And Lina also falls down to the bugs.
And then both supports go the way of Weaver as well. Double kill to him. And this is becoming the story of Weaver. Dragon Knight's just been sitting up top, now rotated towards mid. So a lot on the Dyers riding on this Dragon Knight right now.
Weaver already has his Phase Boots, Perseverance, and is halfway to his ultimate orb. More than halfway to his ultimate orb already.
Yeah, opting for the Phase Boots, which is something I've done on Weaver as well, but the thing is, that does make you a little more squishy. You don't get the extra strength from the power treads.
Oh man, this is totally
As it is, he's been surviving.
Bit more mobile, though. I mean, the Dire don't have too much shutdown right now from what they're trying to do. And I mean, they do have the burst damage, but Weaver's been playing it really well.
Yeah, Dragon Knight has up a Helm of the Dominator. So far, don't see a creep to be... Oh, there's the creep, so yeah, he's stacking Ancients with a creep as well.
Ruh-roh, bad dudes,
So that will look to pay
And we
off
see
later
Slark
on.
pouncing on mid.
Yeah, has to
But-
turn around though.
Support.
As he runs into Shadow Demon, starts right-clicking away. Dark Pact, but gets disrupted. The stun from Venge able to finish him off, and the Torrent able to kill Venge. Now Slark is trapped in illusions. One more right-click, not able to kill
Oh, so
Kunkka. 8
close.
HP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. We're detecting high levels of sarcasity.
That ends up being 1 for 2, and that one being a Shadow Demon. Not the best trade.
No.
The bear still doesn't have anything yet, though. He's very poor, and he's lost his bear multiple times already. Every time I look at him, his bear seems to be on cooldown, so he's been having to either losing it or resummoning it a lot.
Yeah, and as well at level 7, Lone Druid wanting levels, he's only ahead of the sports on Radiant. The Radiant core heroes at level 10, 9, and 9, so they've shut down the Druid very well in that regard.
You see a disruption on this Slark. However, he just ultimates and then
Yep, turning it around,
passive.
gets Lena, and the follow-up. They're able to finish off the Shadow Demon as well, now going on the Bear. But up top, while that was happening, Dragon Knight able to get a kill on Magnus, looks like with the help of Kunkka, who had rotated it up.
Knight also has his level 2 ultimate, so he has a splash poison now.
Yes, as
We
of
see a
6
rotation
point-
from Venge.
yeah, as of 6.78, you no longer lose the poison from level 1 dragon form when you go up to level 2, so no more of this silly skip level 2 dragon form anymore.
He's also going to be super tanky now. However, if Weaver goes the Fear build, he will completely counter Dragon Knight. I expect
Weaver's-
to see Desolator Medallion coming out of this Weaver soon after his finishes Lincoln's up.
Yeah, closing in on finishing that. He's got his ultimate orb on top of the Perseverance, so just needs to finish the recipe. He's already got 730 on him.
That's a very fast Lincoln's, considering what he's also gotten phase boots as well. So there was some pure rush. I mean, normally you see, even in the 1-on-1 lane, you see it at around 20 minutes. But he might get us at, say, 17,
Yeah,
18.
Slark going on Dragon Knight in mid. He pinged out for assistance as Magnus rotates in. Are we going to see reverse polarity used? No, don't need it. And Slark able to fish him off. The boat comes in, misses. And that'll
However-
be the end of that for now.
Dragon Knight bought out, and he already has his Mithril Hammer and Ogre Club. So it's only 1300, one recipe away from getting his BKB up. And other than reverse polarity, they have nothing to stop him other than damage. And Kunkka's building towards Shadowblade.
Oh, disruption on Magnus. Torrent
And
able to hit.
It's timed very well. However, he skewers out of the Light Strike Array.
Yeah, no continued follow-up. The lift from Rubik. And then he
And
had
the
stolen
chain
Light
stun.
Strike Array as well. Follow-up stun again. Kunkka too tanky though.
However, Weaver might clean up.
Yeah,
And there it is.
Yeah, Weaver behind the action, able to get the Kunkka. Is he going to try and get greedy? He got dusted. Oh, perfectly timed time lapse. Dodges the
It's a root on
stun.
him. If he had backup, that root might have resulted in the ending of Weaver's wicked streak, which would have gotten a lot of gold for the Dire. Much needed gold as well.
Next level jukes there, and that's enough for Weaver to be able to pick up his Lincoln Sphere. He's got the recipe, just has to ship that out to him. Up top, Dragon Knight going one-on-one against Slark. Slark had him low. Oh, the leap, not able to land, and he has to back out.
We also see TP support coming, and now that the creep wave is chasing after Slark, he's not going to make use of his passive at all.
So he dips into the trees to try and alleviate that, but he gets found. Kunkka there, disruption. Here comes the Torrent. Too early, I think. Nope. If he's able to dodge it, so perhaps too late. My mistake. Shadow Poison to keep chasing. There's not enough mana for...
But now Slark's back at full
Good
health
jump.
thanks to his passive from his ultimate.
Yeah, and able to get away. And that's another change in 6.78. Shadow Poison no longer gives vision just by being on a hero. It is only on the initial wave that you get vision now. So that's why we saw him healing up despite being hit by Shadow Poison.
And Weaver has Lincoln's at 18 minutes.
That's
So now-
on him now, and now trying to get a bear with that
That bear's very
pickup.
low and it's armored very quickly.
Oh, not diving for it.
the
Oh,
bugs-
and he
oh, the
denies
bugs
his
get it.
own bear.
Oh, we
Stun
see-
out on the double damage Slark, but the lift
But-
going to let him catch up. Leap is there, able to
And
leash,
torn.
and ton of burst damage bringing him down.
That's the level 3 torrent that Rubik stole as well.
Oh, disruption. Follow up torrent lifts him, and while he doesn't have any more, he goes down.
However, the Slark still running around, healing
Lena
up.
got off the Laguna Blade, but now Slark will just heal up and be just fine.
And Weaver's still running around being...
Yeah, as Slark
Yes.
goes back in, Weaver starts attacking again.
And he just melted that Kunkka. I mean, Slark's base, he has 6 essence shifts right now, I think. And that's giving him 100, gave him 105 base damage, which meant he was hitting for 200 with a double damage rune.
Dire's
I mean,
tower is under attack.
right now this Weaver also has 1400 in the bank, so we could see a quick Desolator out of him very soon. Or MKB, whatever he wants to go.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yeah, we're still going to have to wait and see what the pickup is there. If he goes
I
for
think-
the
Go ahead.
no, if he goes for the Desolator, we're still going to have to wait for at least 1600 gold on the Mithril Hammer and see if he ends up picking that up. Or if he was going MKB, I guess it would be 1500. So if he's buying right away as soon as he gets the gold, we should find out soon.
Well, I mean, I feel like Desolator would be his best option, as the
A lift
Dire
on Lone
have-
Druid mid, they catch him. That's a Weaver catch up. And out too far with low health.
So the Dire have multiple strength heroes in the core, and Desolator, the negative armor with the swarm, just melts through them.
Yeah,
Dire
and
also, the
I really
Pina
like.
ward out.
Yeah, I really like Desolator in general on. Oh, but going on Magnus, he actually gets the reverse polarity off before the boat hits. No follow up though, and
But
with-
here's Weaver.
actually using Laguna Blade
Right.
on Magnus. I'm not sure if that was the best use of it. She goes down though, so at least she got it off.
But that's already godlike on Weaver. He's 10-0-3, and he's been snowballing.
Oh, Weaver lets Kunkka get away, but he stole X. Can he get that? It's level 2. He's within range now, but just
Here it
walks
is.
into the
Swap
torrent.
back.
Yeah, in
We
towards
see the
the mid.
demon edge on Weaver, so he's either going crit with Thalos or he's going to MKB.
Yeah, I was saying on the Weaver is that Desolator, the minus armor is going to be good for both attacks, the first and the Germinate, whereas
Yeah,
crit doesn't apply to the Germinate attack.
The corruption is also applied before his first attack.
Yeah,
It does. He's doing 2 hits with the negative armor.
Slark
and it
leaps
also
in,
got
misses. But the lift, and Shadow Demon a lot of trouble. Stun goes on Lena. Now the
Lena
swap
also.
on Shadow Demon, and they're both still alive somehow. Now Lena goes down. Now turning this around, Kunkka gets leashed,
See
but
the
they
boat
back
coming
up.
in.
the-
Desolator also got buffed recently in the. We see Slark
Slark
engaged
jumps,
on this.
now turns around and jumps on Kunkka. They're able to
And
get him,
he
but it
kills-
costs Slark his life. And now they're trying
We
to
also
catch
see
up
that
to Magnus.
but
Weaver
Weaver's back.
rejoining, and time to get out of there. Lone Druid trying to dodge the audio attack with the switch, not enough. Now turning
We
this
see
around
DK also being
on
dived.
Dragon Knight. The skewer forward. The stun on Weaver,
and
though,
a
trying to
stun.
turn this around.
Yeah, well, he got-
Weaver
he
time
quickly
lapses
time
back,
lapse,
and now Dragon Knight in trouble. The Germinate will proc, but able to get away, just a bit too tanky.
He also has BKB up now.
Dire's middle tower is
It
under
just
attack.
picks up the recipe at the well.
And we see a drawing here from the Vengeful Spirit. Nice smiley face.
Middle tower, everyone, go now!
Another one.
Yeah, had a
looks like
little
Mag-
damage out on the mid tower, but no real push.
Mag picked up a Perseverance, so he could be going for Refresher Rush, I guess. Or I could just be using it for the mana regen.
Yeah, a little weird to see that without Blink, but also a little unusual to see him without mana boots either.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Hey, forget about it.
Weaver sneaking up behind, but spotted out by the bear, so they know he's there.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But I mean, when you're hitting for already 200, he doesn't have much to be feared.
Shadow Demon was leashed. He got the disruption off, doesn't break the leash though. Reverse Polarity misses entirely, actually goes off on illusions. But
Slark
will it
counts,
matter?
but-
Slark continuing to
And we see the
chase the
boat.
Lone Druid. Boat didn't see that hit anyone. Rubik finishes off
Rubik's still
Kunkka.
Dragon Slave.
Lena gets
And
brought down.
See
Now the Lone
Ultra
Druid
trying
in
to dodge
trouble.
again, but no. We see
No.
your Dragon Knight with
Yep.
BKB just trying to man up.
Yeah, he's able to survive
Against
for a
all
long
four
time
heroes.
with that, but there's nobody left in Weaver and Slark and Rubik. Just too much. Slark gets the last hit there. 4 go down. No one goes down on the Radiant side,
Bad dude's top tower gonna follow.
and it just sort of continues the way this whole game has gone.
I mean, it's somewhat like last game where they just couldn't capitalize and one team snowballed out. We see the GG, well played, called.
I see them. Give it up.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And we see Scotty picked up.
Yeah,
As the first item
E4H6
on
not
Slark.
E4H6
Brokey.
once again on the wrong side of the river.
I feel like they already lost. They lost a draft already, where they couldn't pick up a lot of reliable stuns. And they
Yeah.
also didn't have, other than Kunkka, they didn't have too much of a team fight initiation. And we also see a boat stolen by Rubik.
I don't know, the lanes ended up very odd on both sides, and it ended up being, think, almost a game of execution, regardless of how the draft impacted it, just based on how chaotic it was. But certainly when it came down to the team fights, there was
Dire's top tower is
that
under
chaotic nature was definitely benefiting the side that had Slark
Yes.
and Weaver and Rubik.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant
I mean, what I feel like was after that Lone Druid lost that huge wave, he just couldn't stand up against the Weaver, and the Weaver just halfway free farmed. As Lone Druid lost his bear multiple times and was stuck at least, I think, 4 or 5 minutes without the bear.
And Battle Fury picked up at the end by Magnus. But Weaver, the story of that one, 13-0-10. Slark ends up looking not too shabby either, 14-3-8. Played by Aces Vanir. But Remorse, that Weaver, we mentioned him at the start, and just carrying his team to victory. So the Radiant takes up this one, and that's the Reddit in-house this time around.